And now a bit of a plea to the crafting bench. Please come back, all is forgiven. I miss you greatly. Hello Exiles, Altek2k here. We've now had a day in Endless Delve, and it's been challenging. The Hierophant Armageddon brand build is coming along nicely, but we've had to make some changes. Firstly, we've dropped Herald of Thunder and replaced it with Herald of Ice. This allows us to freeze enemies and get rid of corpses, so quite useful. And obviously if they're frozen they can't hit you, which is also a good thing. Beginning of the event was a bit painful. There was some really bad lag. Some people on Discord actually gave up, and I don't think my lag was quite as bad, but my lag was more... It was fine, and then it was dead for like 10 seconds, and then I was dead, which is always good. But that only happened twice, and so by the end of the night, which was actually the beginning of this morning, I got to level 85, or about halfway through there actually, and a maximum delve depth of 87. Leveling, actually I started again. If I ever suggest that Spark is good in delve to level with, call me an idiot, because it really is bad. I actually destroyed that character. I kept its weapons though, and I'll talk about that in a little while. But I destroyed the character and recreated it and played with Purifying Flame, which is much, much stronger. Also, the main 6 link has changed. We're going to drop Cruelty and go for Inspiration. Inspiration gives us critical and elemental damage, which is really nice. Some shoutouts now. Reebok 2 suggests Herald of Thunder should be switched out with Skitterbots. It gives us around 45k extra damage, so if you're struggling for damage, then that is definitely the way to go. I'm going to stick with Herald of Ice because of the freeze potential, but do give that a go. Thomas Catergard points out that the shield we get to start with generates endurance charges, and we already get power charges with what's on the tree, so if we switched out at the ascendancy point that gives us endurance and power charges, we can put that somewhere else that gives us more damage. I'm not going to change this one, purely on the grounds that I think the minimum of 4 is really good, because it's always up. So we've always got that resistance, it's consistent, and it will never drop below that. Even at the start of a fight, where actually you're most vulnerable. Okay, challenges so far. It's been really, really hard to find a 5 link. I dropped a 5 red, which isn't really any good to us, but I had to make it work. So what I did was I managed to get 2 blues, 3 reds. That means my current skill lineup now is Armageddon brand, Concentrated Effect. Now, Immolate would have given us more damage, but I decided to go with Concentrated Effect because it applies from the first hit, whereas Immolate only applies from the second hit. And then for the 3 reds, we've gone Inspiration, Fire Penetration, and Cruelty. So that does give us more damage than our 4 blue sockets, and I'm using that. It's not ideal, and we will want to switch back to the 4 blue, 2 red if we get a 6 link, or 4 blue and a red if we get a 5 link. But right now, I had to pivot to get the damage I needed. Getting up to level 70 was really easy. It was literally head down the tree. It was fairly good. Once we got to around 69, 70, it really started to slow down. And I had to stop just going down the tree, because if I kept doing that, I'd just keep dying. I died quite a few times, more than I care to share actually. I'm still trying to give more defenses to the build. One thing I'm toying with is building determination somehow, but I still haven't got that to feel good at the moment, so I'm going to hold off on that, and we'll give you the update if I manage to get it to work. So what I ended up doing instead was actually changing the way I was playing. First thing on defenses, flasks are really, really important. Make sure you use them, otherwise you are going to die a lot. The falling bears from the ceiling in some of the treasure rooms are really horrible. They hurt like hell. What I suggest with these is if you run into a room and they start falling, run to a doorway and kill them from there. What you want to avoid is them getting really close to you or surrounding you, because they'll stun you and then you die. I've also stopped charging into the middle of big packs. It's far better to skirt around the edge and just hit recall. Recall will then drop on the edge of the pack mobs and it will spread across them and kill them. And then you don't get stuck. The biggest problem in this is getting stuck. I'm also going to look at one of the flasks being a phasing flask, because I think phasing is going to be really big for getting out of danger. And I'm still looking for a way of becoming stun immune, because I think we're getting stunned an awful lot. I did get the minus 30% damage from critical strikes on the tree, and that does help quite a lot. EHP wise, I'm currently sat on 3,773 life, 1,392 unreserved mana, and 672 energy shield. And if you add that up, that comes to around 5,500 effective hit points. So we're not weak by any means, but the delve is really tightly packed and does do a lot of damage. Also, try and keep your stone golem up. It seems to die an awful lot in the delve. If that's down, we're losing quite a large chunk of life regen, so do just keep checking that after each fight to make sure you've brought it back up. Make sure you use the ancillary skills as well to make sure that you're maximising your damage. Totems, Orb of Storms, Blood Rage, all really important to keep up to keep your damage up. I'm also toying with changing the curse from Temporal Chains to the one that reduces damage. I can't think of what it's called. I think it begins with E. Nope, it's gone. But I am looking at that. The problem at the moment isn't that they're not getting to me. The problem is that once I'm stuck in a corner, I really need a way of mitigating damage, and that really isn't doing it. Oh, that's it, I'm feeble. Yeah, so general advice, if you can get any kind of fire blink that works, the only one that really isn't going to work is a full green one. You're not going to be able to roll that to anything useful. But if you get a red or a blue, make use of the sockets you can. Just go through Path of Building and change the gems until you find a set that works for the most damage. Okay, getting a second character to get the gear off it. Why do you do this? Put it in the background. It's absolutely great because they're all white sockets to level gems that you're going to want to get to 21, because that's going to be one way of boosting our damage. If we can't get a 6th link, let's boost our gem level instead. I just want to shout out to everybody who's subscribed this weekend. It's been a record weekend for subscribers for me, and I really appreciate it. Also, the people who've joined Discord and the people who leave comments, all great to see. Thanks for the support. And with that, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.